Hi, I'm Keith Holland from Keith Holland Guitars in Los Gatos, California, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about custom electric guitars. So there's a lot of options available when it comes to choosing an electric guitar, and you can pull a guitar down off the wall, but usually sometimes in a person's career they get an idea of exactly what they want, and they may not be able to find it, or maybe they want something that's unique to them. As far as the neck shape and the looks of the guitar, the color of it, the woods that go into it, and so on and so forth. So they find a person who can build them the guitar. So the first thing you do is you look around a little bit. The internet is really good for this. You find that builder who is building something that's similar to what you want, whether it be a bolt-on neck type guitar, a certain design like a Fender style guitar, or maybe a set neck guitar where the neck is attached with a joint, and it has a certain style to it that you like. People specialize in certain areas. There's also a lot of builders out there who will build you something very unique. Here at Keith Holland Guitars, we're big fans of the bolt-on neck guitars. We believe that these guitars are a little more versatile than others. So we pretty much stick with that idea. So today let's talk about these bolt-on neck guitars, or some people call them kit guitars, or there's other adjectives to describe these guitars. But they are basically guitars that are made out of components, bodies, necks, and then all the hardware and electronics that go into them. So first of all, let's talk about bodies. There's a lot of body designs. You see, looks like a standard Telecaster guitar. It's unfinished. It's ready for us to put a finish on it, but it's got an exotic top. It's actually an ash top that has a lot of figure to it. So that's a unique option that is not available to everybody, but it's kind of a unique type idea, and that's what you would expect when you get a custom guitar that some people might expect. Also here then we have a mahogany guitar. Normally with Strats and Tele type guitars you would have either an ash or alder. This one's made out of mahogany. It's also cut for a humbucker in the neck position, so you don't see that a lot on Telecaster. So it's a very dense mahogany body. So it's this is going to give you a different tone, a different weight, a different feel. Everything about it is going to be different. So it's a more dense body. You can hear it's a more robust type tone when you knock on it than you would get out of a standard ash body. This being a standard ash body, you can hear that's a little bit more open, a little bit more resonance to the body itself. Now, here's what appears to be more along the lines of a selection of a Tele body, where you would have the ash, this specifically swamp ash, a very light body. But it has custom features on it. It's cut out here for a P90 style pickup, a Gibson style pickup, and then it also has comfort cuts, like you would see on a Stratocaster. So that makes it unique, it makes it special, it makes it custom. And that's the kind of thing that we do here, is we build a custom guitar. A lot of people do this, and a lot of people take advantage of building their own custom instruments this way. So that's the idea. Those are three bodies that I showed you. They're all Telecaster bodies. Here's a Stratocaster that used to look like one of these a few days ago. And now we put the finish on it. We're preparing to build this custom. It's a custom order guitar for a gentleman who was looking for a classic look in a Stratocaster guitar. Now here's a customer who has gone to all the guitar stores, and he sees a lot of guitars, and when he comes to our store, he sees the guitar, he plays the guitars on the wall, and he goes, now these guitars are quite different than what I see. Even though it's the same instrument looks-wise, what makes it different? Why are your guitars play so different and feel so different than those guitars? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. We use we don't put a lot of finish on the guitar. We use nitrocellulose, so it's the same vintage finish that you would find on the original guitars. And we don't put a lot of grain filler in the wood. So we're thinking tone always first. For us here, form follows function. We need the guitar to function well first. So that's what you look for in a builder as well, as you look for something that works for you. So this gentleman here, he was looking for a better guitar than what he could find off the wall, even though it might look very similar to the instruments that he sees in the stores. The tone is going to be quite different in the end, because we're going to select all the components. When we build the guitar, it's going to be built a certain way, and we're going to select all the components that he wants to, in the end, have his own custom instrument that is maybe better than most of the guitars that you see on the wall. And that's another reason to have your own custom guitar built. Also, let's talk about necks for a second. Here's two very different necks. They look the same as far as their Stratocaster necks, but you see here we have a Stratocaster neck, and this happens to be an all-parts neck, which is a very popular vintage type neck to buy that a lot of people will buy. We like to get them big and then shape them down for a custom order. In other words, this gentleman here, he wants his neck shaped in a very unique way. And so what we usually do here is we will put the guitar together and even put the strings and string it all up before we shape the neck, so the customer can actually play the guitar while we're shaping the neck. And then we take it back apart and we'll do the finishing and everything on it. So that's one of the last things we do, is we shape the neck for the customer. So that's another unique thing. You get the neck shaped the way you want it. And there are a lot of manufacturers of necks. I'm a big believer in buying a neck by a manufacturer. I think if you build your own necks and you're building, one a month or whatever, it's a lot more difficult to get quality and keep that quality consistent unless you're building your own necks constantly. So Warmoth Guitars out there builds a great necks. USA Custom, we get a lot of their necks in, and we use them in our custom guitars, as well as the all parts. If you're looking for a vintage style neck, like I said, you can get something. With all these manufacturers of necks, you can usually, they have so many options available to them. Different fret sizes, fretboard radiuses can be different, and we talked earlier, excuse me, in earlier episodes about the different radiuses of the fretboards, and you can get all of those with the manufacturers. Some of the manufacturers offer those different options, and as well as the neck shapes. And sometimes you can even get a bat style headstock and shape your own headstock, and that can be another custom option that is available to you. And then you have the exotic woods. This happens to be Brazilian rosewood here. And it's actually this is Brazilian kingwood, excuse me. And so this is a very dense neck, heavy actually, but it's very thin at the same time. So it's not for everybody, but it's a custom neck that a person can look at and go, wow, that's really beautiful, while at the same time having a very sustainy, heavier neck, more of the transfer of tone going into the neck, maybe less from the body, because you do have more mass to the neck, and that can affect tone as well. And then so you choose a neck and a body, and the luthier, the builder of your instrument, can talk to you about all the options and weigh. If they have a lot of experience, then they can tell you what effects the neck and the body are going to have in conjunction to the overall tone of the instrument. So with their experience, they can hopefully steer you in the right direction of what you're looking for. So so once you get to that point where you have your neck and your body designed or decided upon, then you want to talk about components. And so this is also just as important as the selection of the woods and the size of the neck and the color of the guitar, the finish on the instrument. All these things that are important. Also, what's important can be the selection of pickups and hardware. So first of all, hardware. We've talked about this as well in the past and how the importance of hardware, and it's important to get quality bridges and tuners, and these things are people in the know. That the people who are building your guitar know what the good stuff is, and they also know what effects the subtle changes can give you. So without going deeply into that, make sure that you think you keep this, that it's important. So it's an important feature that you need to keep in mind when you're building your instrument, because it's going to make a difference in the end. So the nice thing about these options that are available to you, whether they be locking bridges, floating bridges, hardtail bridges, so on and so forth, what the materials are made out of. Nice thing about these things, they can always be changed. Usually, they're all very similar, so you can change them out, and that's what makes the nice thing about component instruments. It's why we like them as far as custom instruments go, because you're not married to what you've selected. The body and the neck, you can change out too, but not as easily as the hardware. It's much more expensive and costly to do that kind of a thing. But hardware and pickups, those are things that you can change out. So it's not nearly as important that you select the proper, or if you do make a mistake and you decide that you don't like that bridge, or that bridge is doing something maybe to the instrument that could be improved upon, then it's easily changed out. But there's a lot of pickup manufacturers out there that are making a lot of great pickups, and this is where the expertise of the maker maybe will be able to help you. If you get somebody who has built a lot of guitars, or in our case we do replace a lot of pickups and instruments as well as building the custom guitars. So we've learned over the years what the pickups do, and when the new pickups come out, we do investigate them fully. And one thing I like to do is talk to my customers a lot. I have a lot of customers who change their pickups out regularly, and they give me feedback on them, and I can develop some ideas of what the pickups do. And those customers that I do switch pickups out a lot, I rely on them a lot to let me know what these pickups sound like. So you have selected your body and your neck and your finish, the color of what the finishing is going to be like, and all your components and everything, and you decide upon a price, and that build goes through. So what happens from that point on? Usually, most custom instruments, from the very start, you get 4 to 6 weeks, I think, generally is what we take here to get the majority of the work done. Sometimes it can be as much as 8 weeks. Also, then it's important to have an agreement with your builder at the end as well. What we do here is we give people 3 years. We tell them that for 3 years you can, we will give you free labor as far as any setups go, or if you want to change out certain components and things like that. We offer a lot of options available to them beyond the point of just, hey, here's your guitar, go with it. Because you want to be sure that as a builder, you want to be sure that the customer is happy with the guitar, and that's going to be important. So what we offer with the free setups and things come back, we want those guitars back, and we want the feedback, to hear the feedback on them, and it's important for that. Also, it's important for you to know that you can be happy with the instrument, and the builder wants you to be happy with the instrument in the end. I hope I hope I've answered a lot of questions here, or helped you develop an idea of what it takes to build a custom guitar, and what components are available, and so on and so forth. Thank you.